So unfortunately, I can only record 5 minute long videos at a time, so I got cut off a little bit there. But whenever you are copying and pasting onto a new layer, for if you're working on Mac, you can do Command C and then Command V to copy and paste. Otherwise, you could go to copy and paste up here and edit. So now that it's on a new layer, so layer one is the tomato all by itself. And what I would probably do, eventually we're going to have a lot of layers here. So just to kind of make it a little bit easier to keep everything organized, if I double click layer one, I can rename it whatever that layer is, just so I can keep everything organized. So looking back on here, for my finished example, that tomato should be in that bottom corner there. So I want to move that to right there. So next thing is using the marquee tools. So for this oval of olives, if I use the elliptical marquee tool, I can draw a shape. Now, if I don't want to let go of the mouse just yet. If I continue to hold and move it around, it's going to adjust it from the bottom and the right side. The top and the left stay pretty much stationary. But if while I'm still holding down, if I also hold the space bar, then I can move it without it resizing. So between the two, I can get this lined up pretty much on the outer edge of that one. So when I have it there, then I can let go and it's selected. So same thing with the tomatoes. Copy it. Oops. So yeah, make sure that you are on the right layer. So right now I have it selected on the tomato layer, but remember the only thing on the tomato layer is that tomato. So I need to make sure that I'm on layer 0 before I actually copy and paste. So now olives are on their own layer. Those ones are going to go on this side. Next up is the carrot. So with the carrot, I want you to use the lasso tool. So for the lasso tool, you are pretty much just kind of freehand tracing around the object. So if I just kind of start here, click and hold while I go around the outside, as close to the edge as I can get. And it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect right now because I can always touch it up after I have made the initial selection. So let's say I get to the edge here and I'm, oh no, something kind of like that. Well, what I can do now is just like what I did with the tomato. If I hold Shift or Option, that allows me to add or subtract from my selection. So like, let's say this part out here, I want to subtract it from my selection. I can hold Option, and I can just circle around that. This part, if I want to add it in. So if you're not perfect with your first tracing of it, then you can go back and add on to it. So this one's going to be in the middle, kind of angled downwards. So make sure I'm on layer 0, copy and paste. So for this one, when I want to move it, I can either go to Edit, Free Transform, or on a Mac, the shortcut is Command T. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit, move it right there, and then place that. It's good to go. Next up is the lettuce. So we can also use a combination of tools, and I'm about to run out of time for this video, so I'll continue it in part 3.